Hiya folks, and welcome to part 5 of my ukulele tutorial series, how to play the ukulele in 10 easy steps. So as I say, we're halfway through already, and thank you to those that have joined me since the very first one. So what are we going to do today? We're going to look at a topic that is very close to my heart, that is intros and endings. Now some refer to these as intros and outros, which basically means the same thing. So we're looking at how can we start a piece, how can we introduce a piece to our audiences, and how can we end them as well. Now what I'm going to do is look at those in 3 different keys, the most popular keys on our ukes, which are the keys of C major, F major and G major. And also I'm going to give you examples of tunes using a very slow speed, a medium tempo and a fast tempo as well. If you haven't already downloaded the free printout, please do that now and have that in front of you. So just to highlight a couple of areas that may not look familiar, at the bottom of each sheet you may notice, if you've printed it in colour, in red I've put some numbers at the side of the chord grids. That basically means we're going beyond the 4th fret. Da, da, da. Yeah, we're going up the dusty end, ladies and gentlemen, and that's just to highlight that we are doing it. Also underneath each chord grid you will notice a number, and for now the easiest way to explain it is if you see it's 4 underneath the chord grid, just do 4 strums. If it's 2, just do 2 strums, etc, etc. Now also, to make it easier for you, as chords come around for the very first time, I'm going to also generate a computer graphic and put it on the screen, just so you can see which fingers I would use when creating this particular chord shape. However, as it goes through, I'm not going to put them on every single time they arise. Basically, I'm just going to do it the very first time. After that, have a look on your sheet. So let's get stuck in. So if you could have the first sheet in front of you now, that's the one all about the intros and endings in the key of C major. And you'll notice, as well as the chord grids, there are some suggestions on the right hand side of tunes. So these will be of different tempos. So we've got things like Ain't Misbehaving as a slow example, All of Me as a medium tempo, and also as a fast one, When the Saints Go Marching In. Now that doesn't mean that these intros and endings will only work with those tunes. I'm giving you examples of those tunes at a particular speed. So if you know your own tunes that you want to adapt, you can use those as well. These are just examples. All right, let's go. So a quick change, and you'll notice I have a t-shirt that says on it Steel City Ukuleles. I had the great pleasure of performing for them a few years ago in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I hope to return. If you would like a little promotion of your ukulele group, just put a note in the comments, and you can perhaps send me a t-shirt or some memorabilia all about your group, and I will feature it. So let's go. So looking at our intro in the key of C major, we have 4 chords to learn. The first one is like this. It's called E minor 7th. Sounds like that. Now I can either use those fingers or those fingers, up to you. And that is our E minor 7th. The next chord along couldn't be easier, because all we have to do is move everything down 1 fret. Remember, that's down and that's up. Okay, so everything down 1 fret, and that is our diminished chord. I'm going to call that diminished nut for now. I'll explain more about that later. So we've gone from E minor 7th to diminished nut using either those fingers, that's the 2nd and 3rd, or 1st and 2nd. Up to you. Okay, next chord is going to be D minor 7th. Now many of you have probably played a D minor already. To make it a D minor 7th, all I'm going to do is with my pinky is pop it on the 1st string and 3rd fret. Only one way to play this chord. And the last chord in the sequence is G augmented. Now if you haven't played this chord before, there is a very similar chord shape, and that chord shape is similar to what we've just done with D minor 7th. So if we have our D minor shape, but we move it to a different position on the fretboard, it gives us G augmented. So there is our D minor. What I'm going to do, just to show you, is to go up a fret with it and then across the strings, like so. So I'm using the same fingers as I would to create a D minor, but I've just put the D minor shape in a different place. So to get to it, I started with a D minor here, and I went up a fret and then across the strings. Okay, I could have gone this way, which was across the strings and up a fret. It doesn't matter, you end up in the same place. That is our G augmented. Sounds like this. So as a quick recap, we've learnt this one, the E minor 7th, we've learnt the diminished nut, we've learnt the D minor 7th, and we've learnt our G augmented. Now underneath each of those chords it says 4, and that really means just 4 strums. Okay, so let's try it. So I'll play first. So we've got Would you like to do that with me? Here we go. 4 in. 1, 2, 3, go. The more times you do it, the more familiar it will feel. Okay, let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, go. So that is our intro in the key of C. So what pieces could we actually use using that sort of chord set? So let's try this one. If we were going really sort of slow, I could go. I'm going to put on Ain't Misbehaving. Here we go. See, it just takes us in there, doesn't it? Yeah. If I wanted to go to something a bit faster, I could go like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. See, it takes us into all of me. All I've done is gone faster, okay? If I want to go faster still and do something like Saints Go Marching In, I could go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. When the saints go marching in, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. So by using exactly the same 4 chords as an introduction, 4 beats on each, but changing the speed, how adaptable is that? It's fantastic, isn't it? So anything really in the key of C major, you can now use those 4 chords as an intro. I'm now going to show you what happens if we go to the other end, the outro. Okay, so now we're at the other end of the piece and we're going to put on our outro. These are the chords that you need. I will put them on the screen to start with the very first time they come along, but you've also got them printed on your sheet. So the first one's going to be the chord of C major. Then we're going to go to C7. Then we're going to go to F. Now a really nice chord switch now going from F to F minor. I love that change there, yeah. And then back to C again. And then a G7. Back to C. Now, these last 2 is where we're going up the dusty end. Here we go. So we're going to use the shape of G, but we're not going to play it there, okay? We're going to move that up to the 6th fret. So the 5th one's normally got a mark on your fretboard. We're going to go to the 6th fret. And always when I say a number, it's where my index finger is. Yeah, so my index finger is on the 6th fret. So in short, we've got a G shape on the 6th fret. And we're just going to do it like that. Okay, and then the next one along, literally, we're going to move that up 1 fret, which is an inversion of C major. So those last 2 chords together sound like this. Just like that. Now under each of these chords, I've written numbers, so most of them have got 2 underneath, so 2 strums, apart from the last 2, which is just 1 on each. I'm going to play it for you first, and then you can join me. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, how many of you got those last two chords? Should we do it? Come on, let's do it now. Here we go. Bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a nice little end, isn't it? Okay, so let me go back to the tunes that we were using before, which the first one was Ain't Misbehaving. So let's get to the end of that. Now, get the idea? So if we now go to our medium pace tune, which was All of Me, let me show you what that sounds like with this particular ending. Going from here, 3, 4. Here we go. Yeah, it's exactly the same sequence, but I've just gone a little bit faster. Right, let's go ridiculous. Let's do The Saints Go Marching In. So, I want to be in that number, oh, when the saints go marching in. That's very fast, isn't it? But it just shows you how we can do a slow piece, a medium pace, and also a really rip-roaring piece like Saints Go Marching In, using exactly the same chord sequence. Okay, we're going to take a short break there, and then we're going to come back with intros and endings in the key of F major. So we're now in the key of F major, and you're going to notice as we go through these, a lot of the chords are going to duplicate from key to key, and that includes our very first one. So looking at our intro, the first chord that we're going to play is the chord of F major. Okay, the next one along we haven't done yet, and it's diminished 1, and that looks like this. If you can't see it with my fingers, have a look at the graphic on the screen. Okay, the next one in the sequence is G minor 7th. Now, if you've never played this shape before, the easiest way to explain it is if you play the chord of B flat, which is quite tricky to do, but don't include what's on this 4th string. So that one just remains open, an open G. And that's what it sounds like. That's our G minor 7th. And finally, we're going to alter that slightly by, instead of covering both of these strings with this finger, I'm just going to be on the 1st string like so. Again, have a look at the screen if you can't work out what I'm doing here. So I've gone from this chord, G minor 7th, to C9. Okay, together they sound like this. If I put 4 beats on each, we've got Would you like to do that with me then? 4 in. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 4 in. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Now, of course, you can stop this later on, rewind it and play it and play it and play it if you haven't quite got it right now. But I'm going to move on just to show you how I can adapt those 4 chords in our introduction in the key of F major into pieces. So once again, I'm going to give you a demonstration of a slow piece, a medium piece, and also a fast one. And for the slow one, I'm going to go really slow. So I'm going to be playing Georgia on My Mind at the end of this chord set. So have a listen to this. Here it comes. Isn't that nice? Okay, it kind of just takes you in there. And the next one is got more of a swing to it, which is Making Whoopee. This is a great tune. So we have now, let's get this time right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here Here we go. Get the idea. Okay, and for a fast one, why not do 5'2" Eyes of Blue? It's like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5'2" Eyes of Blue. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. Get the idea? So once again, we've utilized the same 4 chords. All I've done is change the speed. And by changing the speed, you can see it can be adapted to many, many tunes. So take a break there, and then I'll come back with the endings. Right, so endings or outros in the key of F major. So here we go. Have a look at your sheet as well. Some of these chords we've already played, like the F major. So it starts with F major. Then we're going to add on an additional finger to make it F7. Then we're going to repeat our G minor 7th that we had in our intro. Yeah. Now a new chord to us. This is a great chord. It's called E flat 9th, but don't be scared, because all it is a mini bar. So I'm covering 3 strings only. Yeah, but I'm going to play all 4. Okay, lovely chord that, isn't it? Okay, then back to our F. C7 arrives again, and then F again. Now this time, to do the ending, I'm going to get you to put a bar all the way across the 4th fret, just like that. Okay, and then take it up 1. So our final chords are, just like we did in the key of C major, just 1 on each. Okay, so what does it sound like together? I'll do it really slowly, so here we go. Yeah, do you want to join me? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. One more time. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, have a practice of that. I'm going to come back then with some examples of tunes which could use those endings. So the first piece, as a slow demonstration, is going to be Georgia on My Mind. So I'll play the running up to the end, and then I'm going to use this very ending that you've got in front of you. Here we go. Here we go. Fantastic. Yeah, so that was Georgia. So our middle piece was Making Whoopee. So let's try that tempo going into this ending. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So let's try now 5'2". 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Has anybody seen my girl? So they're exactly the same chords. They are exactly the same. They just went through at a sort of fast rate of knots. Okay, so that is our endings in the key of F major. I'm going to take a break there, and then we're going to come back with our final key for today, which is G major. So we're in our final key for today, which is G major, and we're going to look at the intro chords. So the first one is G major 7th, and it's literally that, a mini bar across the 2nd fret. Okay, only covering the 3 strings here. So I'm going to play all 4 strings, but I'm only covering 3. Sounds like that. Okay, so the next one is diminished 1, or dim 1, as I've put there. We've done that one before. Then the easiest chord on the ukulele, C6. Yeah, and then finally a D7. If you can do it with a bar, I think it sounds nicer than doing it as a Hawaiian. Okay, so I'm going to play those chords in sequence, 4 beats on each, and then I'll get you to join me the second time around. Sounds like this. Again. Okay, do you want to join me then? Perhaps I'll go a bit slower. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Excellent, let's do it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. One more time for good luck. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, fantastic. So what are the pieces we've got here for our different speeds? The first one, for the slow one, Dream a Little Dream of Me. What a fantastic tune that is. So I'm going to have to really slow it down to play that piece. So I'm talking this sort of speed, sort of... Get the idea? Okay, so that's the same chords, just a lot slower, and it seems to slot in nicely with that piece. Our sort of medium piece in this key. You're 16, so that would be more of a... You come on like a dream, peaches and cream. You get the idea? Okay, so the same chords again, a lot faster. Now would be something like Anything Goes. Now this could be any piece, but I'm just giving you examples of something that's slow, medium and fast. Here's the fast one. So here we go. So we got... You get the idea? So that's a slow example, a medium tempo example and a fast one. Now what happens if we want to put an ending on in the key of G? So let's look at our ending chords then in the key of G, and we're literally going to start with a G, just like that. Then we're going to go to G7, which we've done before, a C, which we've done before. Now this shape we've done before twice, but we're going to now play it in a different place, which is on the 3rd fret. That is our C minor. And then back to G, D7 we've done before, back to G. And for our final 2 chords, remember there's only 1 strum on each of the final chords, I'm going to get you to put that bar on again all the way across the frets and up to bar 6. Yeah. Then up to a 7. Okay, can you do that? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to play it for you first in a sort of medium sort of tempo, then I'll get you to join me. Sounds like this. Okay, so do you want to join me? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, go. And again. 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, so let's use that end with the 3 tunes which we had for our intros, which was Dream a Little Dream of Me. So slowly that would be like this. 1, 2, 3, go. Remember, of course, you can actually slow that down. If you're playing a slow piece, it will actually give it a little bit more sort of drama. So if I was to play that exact same sequence, now start to slow down. Just works, doesn't it? Just adds a little bit more drama to it. So what was our medium tempo piece? How can we end in the key of G with You're 16? Okay, so let's do that. 1, 2, you're 16, you're beautiful and you're mine. Yeah, you're 16. So what would it be like our crazy speed? The piece we had was Anything Goes. What does that sound like? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Anything goes. So there you go. So that is in the key of G. So we've crammed a fair bit in today. We've looked at intros and endings in 3 different keys, and we've also looked at examples of pieces that could actually fit in with those intros and endings of different tempos. Of course, you can put your own tunes into these. I've just given examples today. If you got something from it, I would ask a favour. That would be, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and also hit what's called a notification bell. That way, when the next one comes along, you will be notified and you can watch it first. I also run a ukulele community which is quite international, of about 80 members, and I upload tasks for people to do, and what happens is people then send me videos of what they've achieved, which I can share with the other patrons. So it really is a sort of community feeling rather than just being on your own. So that's called Ukulele Shortcuts, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below. So until the next one, you all take care, stay safe, keep strumming, keep smiling. See you soon. Ta-ra!